Lakeside Bank. Here we go. Thank you for joining us for another edition of On Tour with Todd Probasco from Lakeside Bank, where we talk about business, sports, real estate, or life, whatever runs across the podcast. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about real estate. And with me, I have Conor McDowell from Remax Plaza in Wauconda, Illinois. Conor, how are you?
I'm doing great today, Todd. Thanks for having me on.
Of course.
Looking forward to talking about Wauconda and all things real estate. So
I love it. I love it. I love Wauconda and I love real estate. So this should be fun. Anyway, so Conor and I met. We do business in the same area, and she's going to tell us about her career. She comes with a lot of experience. She kind of learned from the floor up, if you want to say, ground floor up, which is good for people to learn everything about the business before they jump in and start representing people. So, Conor, why don't you give the people who are listening or watching a little background on you, how you got into real estate, and from there to where you're at today.
Sure. So I live and work in Wauconda. I'm with Remax Plaza. We have multiple offices all over Lake and McHenry counties and into Lake Geneva. I moved to Wauconda about 8 years ago. I lived the majority of my adult life in Chicago, and I have a customer service background. I met my managing broker and her networking group through an old job that I had, and she took me under her wing. I worked on the admin side for Remax Plaza for a while, and then transitioned to what I'm doing now, which is licensed realtor in Illinois and Wisconsin.
That's exciting. So you worked on the admin side. So you saw how a deal was put together, how it went through the process, the ups and downs, the craziness of a real estate deal.
Exactly. It's really nice to know kind of the back end of it when you're starting out, because you know how it all works. It's been great. I'm lucky enough to be pretty involved in Wauconda as well. I am on the board for the Wauconda Area Chamber and is the secretary as well, and part of the Economic Development Commission here for the village of Wauconda. Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah. So the cool thing about starting in the admin role is there's so many moving parts to a real estate deal.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this 25 years, and I still tell people I'm still learning things. You never have seen everything. And there's no such thing as a cookie cutter deal where you just go, I want to sell, buy, and close. It never works that way.
Right. So and if you have one like that, you're really lucky, I would say.
Yeah. So I don't know if your managing broker used this phrase, but I would have. Hey, come to work with me as an admin. You're going to get a free education, kind of like going to college, but I'm going to pay you while you do it.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of the stepping stone to where I am today. So I think that, if you're thinking about a career in real estate, I would highly recommend kind of learning the back end of it. It's important, for all the moving parts, like you said.
For sure. That's awesome. All right. For those of you who might be just tuning in, I'm a lender. I do mortgages based in Chicago. Been doing it 25 years, and I lend in all 50 states. So that would help cover Illinois and Wisconsin, which we're going to get to in a minute. But let's talk a little bit about 2025, because here we are in January of 2026. We just closed out 2025. What are your thoughts on how 2025 went in real estate?
I would say, given that I've been in this industry just for a few years, I would say that for me personally, 2025 was my best year. I've heard from other agents that wasn't necessarily the case, and that 2025 was a little bit slower. Coming off the end of crazy COVID times and into 2022, 2023, where the market was really crazy. I think that it was a slow period for some people. And I think kind of the beginning of what we're going to see as an adjustment in 2026.
Yeah. So yes, that's a good way to put it. The bottom line is the year was down in volume.
Yeah.
Okay. So why was it down? I think a lot of people know we had higher interest rates,
low inventory.
low inventory, and we had some uncertainty in the market.
Sure.
You know, we had talks of tariffs. We had the bond market going haywire every day. We had things in the media that might have scared people away, but all
Absolutely.
that created kind of like a storm, that a cloud over everything. Everybody just kind of like said, time out. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna wait. Well, now we get to the fourth quarter of last year and things start settling. The dust starts settling. The tariff talk goes away. The bond market stabilizes. Interest rates start coming down a little bit. And you would have to tell me more, but I don't think we really had a jump in inventory, but
Mhm.
the buyer side became a little bit more easier to handle. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Well, here we are. We're going to now talk about 2026. I'll give you a little segue. From a lending standpoint, we couldn't be happier right now.
Yeah,
So,
it's good to be a lender.
right? So we've gone under 6% now,
Yeah.
like call it 5.7, 5.8 for a 30-year fix. Way better than a year ago when we were at 7%. Now I need you guys, hopefully, to get more inventory, more homes
Yeah.
listed. And I think we will, and I'll let you comment on this, but when the rates go down, the people who've been holding out on selling might think about putting their house on the market and making a move. What are your thoughts on
I
that?
think that was a huge issue with 2025, is that, okay, what am I going to do if I go to sell and purchase something? I'm sitting on this rate that's, less than 3%, let's say.
Yeah.
No one wants to make any moves because they know that it doesn't make sense because the rate is still over 6%, which when I was talking to lenders, it's like 6% was that sweet spot. Let's get it under 6%. And I think we'll see movement.
Yeah, my phone's been ringing off the hook. So
Yeah, and I think that maybe that's going into 2026 is a really great start for people.
yeah. What are your thoughts? How do you think the year is going to be?
I was writing some notes about it, and I think that I hope to see an increase in inventory due to those rates coming down. People feel like, okay, it's safe to make a move now. I think that we're going to see an adjustment in the market. I think the increase in price over time isn't going to be so as high as it has been in previous years. I think, yeah, that it's still going to go up as it does, but I don't think in such a rapid rate.
Yeah, agreed. So economics always say supply and demand. More supply,
Yeah.
prices are going to go down. If there's limited supply, prices go
That's
up.
fine.
So if what we talked about, lower rates could actually generate more inventory,
Mhm.
prices could level out, or not, like you said, not jump as fast as they have been.
Sure. And again, when that happens, I think that will bring more buyers to the market. So you're still going to be in a competitive marketplace.
Yeah. And we don't like seeing 10 full price offers in 24 hours. That's
No.
not good for pricing, right?
But you know what? I haven't seen that. And you know what? I think more and more, even going into the beginning of this year, and at the end of it, specifically at the end of last year, I think you're seeing price reductions more than you had in the last, or adjustments, more than you had in the last months.
I like
and
seeing
certainly in comparison to early 2025.
I love hearing that, because these other crazy deals with the 10 full price offers coming in over list price, I sit there and go, oh my God, I hope this appraises out, because it's just insane what some people have been doing. But okay, well, that's good to hear. So
And
consensus,
certainly my opinion, but I hope it turns out that way.
we value it here on this podcast. That's why you're here. So overall consensus, more inventory, rate stabilized, could be a much better year in 2026 for real estate.
I think so. I think it'll be more balanced. I like to
Great
think
word.
that
Great
word
Yeah,
than it has been in previous years.
that's a great word.
And hopefully maybe that will bring people that, thought that they couldn't enter into the market because it's been so competitive, or because they couldn't afford it because the rates. So maybe, some first time home buyers will be entering in, which would be exciting.
I love it. All right. Well, I guess you and I both agree that anybody listening or watching, if you're thinking about doing a deal, this is going to be a great year. feel free to reach out to either one of us. Connor will offer you a free evaluation on your house and help you buy one, and I can help you with a mortgage. So free same-day pre-approval. All right, that's my commercial.
Love to hear it.
Right?
Yeah, and
All
I'm
right.
happy that, if you're looking for an evaluation of your property, I'm happy to help you and assist you in any way I can. That's what I'm here for. Get the ball rolling.
Yeah, let's make it
Whenever,
happen.
people wait to say, oh, I want to wait till spring. Oh, I want to wait till the weather turns. That's what everyone's saying. Do it now, because
Jump in the pool.
spring's coming around the corner anyways. We're going to be in Super Bowl here shortly. So
Jump in the pool. The water's warm.
yeah, exactly.
All right. That's good. We agree that 26 going to be a great year. So let's move on. This is kind of exciting. I've been doing this a while, and I don't think I've talked to anybody doing deals in Wisconsin yet. So let's start with Wauconda. You and I know Wauconda pretty well. It's a great town up in Lake County, Illinois, northwest of Chicago. For those of you who have never been to Wauconda, I got to tell you, it's almost like you feel like you're going on vacation, and you're still close to the Chicago metro area. But it's really a cool little town that has a big lake, a lot of places to go and fun. Tell me about your experience with Wauconda and quality of life there.
Great place to be. Again, for me, definitely a little bit of a shock coming from living in the city for as long as I did. But it was time to make a change. I absolutely love just the small town vibes of Wauconda. It's a great sense of community. There's a great little music scene. There's great places to go. There's new developments happening, which I'm really excited about. Hopefully in 2026 here on Main Street, there's some exciting stuff happening. You're close to, your Bangs Lake is right there. If you're like a water sports person, if you want something that's maybe a little more high energy, you're close to the chain. You've got great forest preserve system. And again, close to, the train where you can, commute to downtown if you need to. I mean, you could go to Barrington, you could go to, any number of metro stops around Lake County and be in the city within an hour. So yeah. I think it's just a great, and it does feel like vacation every day.
It does.
We'll say that, especially in the summer.
Oh
and God. Then, ice fishing in the winter, people love it. It's a great place to be.
It is. You're very lucky and fortunate, and I know you think about that, but you also live and work. You do business there, so
yeah. I know. I'm lucky enough that my commute's like 3 minutes. So
there you go.
It's a town of 14,000, and it really, you get that like small town feel. It's great.
I love it. Great town, a lot of fun,
mm-hmm.
And the real estate market's good there. So
yeah, it is. People want to be here.
They do. They do. All right, let's talk about Wisconsin. I think you just added that on, right?
So I just did. I'm still wet behind the ears with Wisconsin.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I'm still wet behind the ears with Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
Still green. I have family there. I've had a lot of clients that have reached out to me and like looking to move north. And I just said, okay, I got to pull the trigger on this thing. And so it was one of my goals for 2026. I'm glad I knocked it out in 2025.
Outstanding. Love it. So again, anybody listening, if you're thinking about buying or selling in Illinois or Wisconsin, Connor can help you. And a little side note, I don't know if I mentioned, but I can do a mortgage in all 50 states. So
excellent news.
Yeah, if you're looking to buy or refi, easy, just give us a call.
So can I ask you about that now, about the refinancing? I mean, have you seen getting calls about doing that now because of that rate being?
Yeah, in the last 2 days, probably 4 or 5 calls from customers, especially the ones who bought the last couple of years. A year ago we were hitting 7%. So if you can get under 6, depending on your loan amount and your situation, it's definitely worth looking at. So, yeah, we're getting some refi. I haven't had that in a while, but the buyer pre-approval calls have just jumped. So yeah, because I think it got into the media like, oh my God, interest rates went down. And we live in a world that's driven by the media.
Mm-hmm.
And when you turn on the TV and it says it's a good time to go buy a house, people buy a house. If the news says don't buy one, they don't buy one. But guess what? Nothing might have changed, but we're driven by the media, right? So So I love it when the media is giving us good news. So yeah. Before we wrap, long-term goals. I mean, you got a lot on your plate all of a sudden. You're full-fledged, 100% real estate. You're with a great company, a good firm. You are now going to be representing people in 2 states.
Yeah.
What are your plans? What do you have? What are some goals you have for yourself for the next year or two?
So for this next year, one of my, and kind of how I feel in my mission, and kind of just my model of my business is that I really strongly believe in continuing education. I'm lucky enough that I work with a company that also feels that same way. And at any given time, I could be in a book group, I could go to a seminar, a workshop. And I just feel really strongly about that, incorporating that into my business and continuing that into 2026 so I can better serve my clients. Some other, I've got many professional goals that I'm looking forward to working on. Again, I said one of those was getting my real estate license in Wisconsin. So diving kind of into that and expanding my business into Wisconsin. I have family that lives there. It's important to me. It's part of my life. So I would say, 2 main goals: expanding my business and education.
Love it. That's great. Mine are to try to go back to old school, because I noticed the last couple of years, this business, and it's going to keep getting this way, becomes more and more electronic. And that's good and bad. The good is that you can move information quicker and easier. It's easier for the people to do it electronically. But the downside is, I think sometimes information or communication can be lost when you're doing it all electronically. So
Sure.
One of my goals for this year is to meet with as many clients as I can face to face. If not, at least do a video call to where we're talking about their goals and understanding their needs, because email just doesn't do that. And I've noticed that I've put a focus on that the last few months, and it seems like the people really appreciate that. So,
and I think that's such a good point, because as a lender, I would imagine that you could go through the entire transaction and never actually meet the client.
correct. And that's not right.
Right. So I think that, and especially with first-time home buyers, there's a lot of hand-holding that needs to take place. And the more you in front of some, like face-to-face, I think that is a great part of your business model. And I think that a lot of clients are looking for that.
Yeah.
Because again, I mean, I can tell you so many times, maybe that you don't even see the attorney, you don't even see the lender. And I don't think that that's how I would want to put my team together. I want to be able to know that you're going to have a meeting with our client.
Correct.
Face to face.
Right.
Or at least
client comes first. Communication is key. And I believe if you have good communication, you can't control everything. But if you have good communication and you're always on top of things and informing people,
sure,
it makes the whole process easier. So, okay. Well, guess what? That's pretty much a wrap. If someone was looking to get a hold of you, what's a good number to reach you, Conor?
You can call me at 847-502-6065. That's my personal cell phone number. Or you can text. Some people are texters. Some people like to talk on the phone. Either way, it's fine by me. And, I can certainly meet you face to face too. I love taking people to coffee in Wauconda, Whisk, or Honey Hill, or wherever. I'll meet you anywhere for a coffee.
There you go. So if you're looking to buy or sell in Illinois or Wisconsin, Conor's a good one to reach out to. And if you're thinking about getting a mortgage to buy or refi, you can reach me at 708-205-2983. Conor, it's been a joy. I thank you for joining us. And maybe we'll do this again, and we'll check, we'll remember what we talked about in January. We'll let a few months go by and we'll see how 2026
see how we are progressing with our goals. I love it.
How we were as predictors, how we predicted the market. So
right, I mean, this job would be a whole lot easier if we had a crystal ball, and I
probably wouldn't be doing this if I could predict this.
Right.
All right, Connor, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, no
And,
problem.
everyone,
Take
thanks
care.
for listening. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.